MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Looking to the end zone for the win!
Oh my gosh, one of the great games you'll ever see.
The competition is back, and the UEFA Women's Champions League looks set to be bigger and better than ever before.
It's their time, a night to remember.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready. The fight starts now! Let's go.
How do you like it? On the show, so aggressive, so focused. It all comes down to this.
Fight night, only on DAZN.
Hello and welcome to the Copper Box, where a sold-out crowd will be here later as Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen go to battle once again. That all starts at 7 p.m. on DAZN. Before then, 4 fights here on Before the Bell, featuring some of the country's top prospects. Super flyweight Shannon Ryan will get us underway before the exciting duo of Lely Buttigieg and Taylor Bevan are back in action, while John Hedges and Nathan Quales battle it out for the vacant English cruiserweight title. Well, look at this for a lineup. Former world champions, sorry Sky, I've got to say it, but look, we just spoke about it then. The opportunity to be a two-time world champion. Sky Nicholson, Barry Jones. What a night we have in store.
Didn't say sorry to me. I don't understand why not. No, yeah, it's a good night tonight, really good night, and there'll be some big performances tonight. I got a really good, positive feeling about tonight, and I think the top of the bill is going to be another cracker.
But that all starts at 7 p.m, but like we say, this is Before the Bell, and we've got the ring walk for the first fight. Right, we're going to talk over these ring walks. So yes, tonight, Dave Allen, Johnny Fisher. The first fight was epic, Sky. This one will deliver.
Definitely, we already know that. We know the fans win no matter what happens tonight, but I think for me, I'm always going to be a Johnny Fisher fan. I think for me, we're going to see more adaptations from him. I think we're going to see more change from Johnny Fisher's side, and that's going to be what makes the difference tonight.
What kind of performance are you expecting from Johnny Fisher? I think we know Dave is a mixed bag, but Johnny Fisher, what would he have learned from that first fight?
He knows what it's like when you're exhausted and you've got to keep your shape. You don't know how you're gonna react till you get there, and so you sort of tick it. Even though we all thought he was lucky to win, that's the truth. It was a close fight, but you sort of tick a box. So next time, though, you'd expect you think you train hard, and you think you know what it's going to be like, but till you're in a fight where you're up against it in round 8 and you're exhausted, you've still got 2 rounds to go. Winning or losing at the fight at the time is almost irrelevant. Just knowing you've got 2 more rounds or 3 more rounds to go through it, or sometimes 4 if you're going longer distances. And he's done that now, so you'll know that when he gets to dig deep, he can do it. So that'll be a big plus for him. But still, you realise that he hasn't. His movement's got to be sharp. Wasting movements, wasting energy against someone like Dave Allen, who can get in close and make you panic. It's going to really, down the stretch, you're going to struggle.
Yep. Like I say, that is at 7 p.m. That is our main event. What a cracker that is. But we've got Shannon Ryan just making her way to the ring here. She's our first fight on Before the Bell. And I think we are ready for the introductions of our MC for the evening, Mr. David Diamante.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Copper Box Arena here in London, England. We are live on DAZN for a big night of world-class professional boxing. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored tonight by Betfred, Drip, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Tom Insurance, Victory Live, and Everlast. All of tonight's bouts are sanctioned under the auspices of the British Boxing Board of Control. The area representative is Ben Harmsworth. Introducing your third man in the ring at the sound of the bell, from Charity, Rocky Israel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, she wears black with white trim. She's scaled 8 stone, 2 pounds, 6 ounces. Her professional record, 10 victories, 5 defeats, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. She fights out of Mallorca, Spain, by way of Morocco. Please welcome La Reina Mora, Farah El Busairi. And her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. She wears orange with black trim. She scaled 8 stone, 2 pounds, 3 ounces. Professional record, 8 victories, only 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Watford, here is the former WBA International Super Flyweight Champion, Shannon Chaos Ryan.
All right, ladies, you already know the rules. Above all, protect yourself and obey my command at all times. Now, touch gloves and good luck.
Sir. Well, first fight of the night here at the Copper Box, now named the Copper Bosch. 8 rounds in the super flyweight
Seconds
division.
out, round 1.
Farah El Busairi versus Shannon Ryan. She was last out, Shannon, in December, stopping Kate Radomska. It's the first time she's been stopped. I'm sure she would have lost, gained a lot of experience from that defeat to Emma Dolan. But Sky, she's a very good fighter, is Shannon Ryan.
She is. She's a very smart fighter. She's sharp. She sets up her shots well. She's very disciplined. I'd say discipline's a really good word to describe Shannon. She's very, very disciplined in everything she does. She's always bringing her hands back high, catching shots, looking for openings, and I really like her style.
Yeah, little pocket rocket, like the man to my left, Barry Jones. She's sharp, she's powerful, and she's aggressive. And yes, she did suffer a defeat a couple of fights ago, but in good quality.
Yeah, Dolan's a really good fighter. I've covered earlier in her career and thought she had the potential to be a champion, and she's proved me right, thank God. But I think with Shannon, she does lots of things really good. You see her here, the balance is good, power in the right hand, she feints before she throws, but quite often she forgets the jab as the rounds go on. She just jumps into attacks. I think that sometimes is a downfall. So again, just keeping that discipline all the time, just keeping the awareness that you have to build up the attacks. And for her, it's a solid jab and then step behind it and then let your hands go. I think she's strong, she's powerful, she pivots around the target really, really well. So as Sky was saying, there's loads of good things I like about her.
Yeah, she's got brilliant base, you can see it there. Bends the knees, generates a lot of power. Oh, lovely right hand, just took her head off the line there. Beautiful shot.
And dip the solid Sky.
This is Shannon's first fight with a new team too, is that right, I believe? I'm quite interested to see the changes that are made there as well, because obviously she's with the same team for the first part of her career.
Yeah, really good opening round for Shannon Ryan here at the Copper Box.
Corners 10 seconds.
Que no esté cómoda,
Second round in this 8th round. That was a really good opening round for Shannon Ryan, landing numerous right hands on the top of the head of Bussari. Moroccan, now based in Spain. 10 wins, 5 losses. There's a 3 inside the distance, but again, Ryan getting down to business, really planting the feet, looking for that right hand, Barry.
Yeah, but this is one of those moments where she's having success with that big right hand, and it's a shot she should work on, but again, not losing the shape and jumping in, forgetting about the fundamentals. And she's still got to work beyond the jab and keep that feint working really well. That was good for her in the first round. Otherwise, you're just an obvious, you're overreaching, and also you're telegraphing your shots and be able to pick it off. And Bussari, as we've seen in previous fights, will fire back.
Lovely counter punches there.
Yeah, that was really nice, Sky. Little feint, she took a little step back through the left hook, followed by the right hand. Little subtle movement backwards, just to avoid the shots of Bussari.
Just dips her legs a bit before she throws, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, Ryan.
Really good solid base again, just looking for that right hand as Bussari throws the jab. Bussari been in some good company. She had 2 fights against decent opposition in Canada, losing to Alexa Kubicki and Kim Clavel. Shot working really nicely, looking very composed, relaxed and confident, Sky.
Yeah, lovely. She's picking her shots really, really well. She's breaking the distance in between. She's not smothering her work.
Can't miss with that right hand. Looking to pour the jab, Barry, as opposed to really snap it out there. Nice screw left shot.
I'm never a fan of it, but I think she can afford to do it in this fight. That right hand's a great weapon. And again, because she dips her legs and just turns her body to the left ever so slightly, it disguises it really well.
Another impressive round for Shannon Ryan. Really in her groove, looking dangerous.
Déjame un poquito de vaselina. Respira fuerte. Mira, escúchame. En la entrada, cuando entras, no se te puede caer a mano izquierda. Tienes que entrar con la cabeza bien escondida. Y le tienes que poner más ritmo, que no se acomode. Para. Desde ya.
Again, that's the shot. She shot that right hand over the top. Just holding her feet a little bit too long, but you can understand why every time she lets her hands go, she's having success here, Ryan. Just see that little half a step back there as well. Just creating the space to get the leverage into her shots, and yeah, she's controlled the last first 2 rounds, boxing really well.
Look, Shannon Ryan having it all her own way. If you're in the corner of Bussari, what are you asking her to do?
Thanks, Darren. I think she needs to let her hands go. I think her offense will be her best defense at this point. Obviously, that's going to create more openings for Shannon as well, who's very sharp and explosive.
Third round here at the Copper Box. Remember, so much to look forward to. That top of the bill.
You said it was Copper Box. Now he's calling it Copper Box again.
Well,
you've got to make
getting drawn in, aren't I? But the Copper, can I somehow combine the two? I don't know. Anyway, live on DAZN from 7 p.m. in that main event, the rematch. Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen. That is a cracker. Back to this one in the super flyweight division. Shannon Ryan versus Farah Bussari. Bussari, she's second best here, looking to let her shots go as Sky was asking for, but just that difference in speed. She just manages to glide out of range, does Ryan. I'm looking for that right hand against Sky.
Yeah, I'd like to see Shannon now. She's got her lead hand really high from Shannon landing that right hand. I'd love to see her just feint and then sink it into the body.
See, she's looking for the feint, Barry. Just a slip there, just very aggressive to get in it. It didn't look like a shot to me.
It wasn't a shot. I think the referee heard the call to start the count and just went with it. I don't think that was that's automatic for the guy on the microphone to count. It's the referee's his job to say it wasn't a knockdown.
Yeah, the referee should have waved that off.
But to me, it just looked like she was eager to get stuck in and land heavy shots, and just the momentum caught her off balance. But
I think she lost her balance a little bit. Her feet weren't under her.
Oh, beautiful jab to the body, followed by her right hand upstairs. Lovely shot by Shannon Ryan.
It's important though for her not to panic. She knows what she does. She's dominant every time she lets her hands go. Don't chase this round too much now, I would say. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't go out there and make your silly mistakes and worrying about stuff. You haven't been hurt.
The last 10 seconds here in the third round. Hopefully we can catch the replays of that questionable knockdown. Well, let's have a look then.
See, the thing is, you look at it there, she gets clipped with a shot, but but you see a better angle here, but you see the feet. She just brought a right foot forward to me, and I think she just slipped. That's what's happened there. She's thrown herself over with the momentum of the right hand.
Yeah, but as you say, I guess that there is a shot that goes in there, but the follow-up from Shannon Ryan, she, again, can't miss with that right hand, and having even more success when she's setting traps, that jab to the body, very impressive.
She looks calm and happy in the corner anyway. I think she knows it's okay, whatever whatever happens with that round, she's fine.
Yeah, she's had it all her own way, bar that controversial knockdown. Working the jab, as you called for, Barry. She's had a terrific fight against Jasmina Zappacosta. It really was a brilliant fight. It was her first 10-rounder. It was a nasty cut. Did fade a little bit in the end, but put a lot of work into that contest. And again, another absolute cracker of a right hand.
You know what's good about that? She took the step back, left her front foot there, so you can push back in right through the target with the shot. Really good work.
She's looking very, very good here.
She broke the space without giving up the space. The momentum was there with the shot.
Busari bravely trying to let hands go, working the body first, probably the right tactic.
So disguise that right hand a little bit more now, double the jab up a little bit, maybe go body head.
Good footwork again, just moving back to centering, and a nice little feint there, just stopping Busari coming forward. You know, a defeat can make you a breakthrough.
Lovely right hand.
Again, another cracking right hand, and the aura and the body language I'm getting from Shannon Ryan. Look, no disrespect to Busari, there's going to be tougher tests for Shannon Ryan, but she looks very composed. There's a swagger about her.
Yeah, there is. You know, I think Busari's a good opponent for her because it's someone who fires back when they get caught. So I think for someone like Ryan, that's always potentially a problem because she commits to her punches. And if you're there to be hit, that might take away your confidence of your offense, but it hasn't so far.
Really good work there from both exchanging, but you've got to credit the bravery, the heart,
and the chin.
To win, and the chin, yeah, of Busari.
She took some big right hands that round.
The way she throws that shot, Sky Ryan, she really just takes her head to the left-hand side, out of danger, and delivers it with such accuracy. What's impressing you here, Sky? Let's have a look.
Oh, that was that shot. Where she broke the distance without giving up the distance. Right there. Walked her straight onto it.
And it's the angle of the shot. The variation with that right hand, very
almost
impressive.
Shot it from the hip. Oh,
wow.
Lovely.
Right hook there. And Barry, we like the exit after a shot, don't we? The way she just skips to the left there.
She's boxing really control. And again, you always got to be a little bit overcritical. You want to keep her, don't lose the importance of that left hand. Keep it a constant weapon. But yeah, the right hand is the shot that's doing all the damage, doing all the work, and winning another round.
Yep, looking good, looking composed. Very happy with her performance so far. Mixing it up. Can Busari get a foothold in this contest at all? And with telegraph right hands like that, she's going to struggle.
That was nice there, just changing up that right hand to the body instead of throwing the same shot to the head all the time. She's got her thinking more now.
Oh, again, the right hand, so accurate, but it's the feet that's been so impressive here. Just taking the range, the distance away from Busari, and again, she cannot miss with that shot.
Yeah, Busari's just slow down a little bit here now, so that's allowing Ryan just to hold her feet a little bit closer to the target. She's not taking that step back, but she doesn't need to. And that's it, where she's starting to take that little semicircle along the body now, looking for a different angle of the shot.
Yeah, away from those defeats in Canada, she's also lost to Chloe Watson, former European champion Maëlys Gangloff. So she's, as I say, been in with decent opposition. Busari, never been stopped in her 5 defeats. Tough, rugged. I'll tell you what, she is second best here. Switches a lot as well, Busari.
It's not working for her. It's not. I mean, switching too often is usually a sign of desperation for me, anyway. But I mean, you've got to be really good at switching to get it to be effective.
Another thing to note as well, she sold some tickets, Shannon Ryan, and making himself heard. Good support. Travelled down from Watford, not far, just around the M25.
Cannot miss with that right hand.
It's been a very, very effective weapon in this fight so far.
Solo tienes que hacer la guardia estática y meterte dentro. Y cuando estés dentro, pegar. Cariño, por favor.
So a little bit eager there with the right hand there, Ryan, but apart from that, again, holding her feet and getting the better of the exchanges again, just sharper. Overall, just neater with her work throughout.
I think this has been a really polished performance from Shannon. I think she's boxing really, really well. I think she's in with an experienced girl who's been in with lots of other experienced girls, and it's a good fight for her, a good learning fight especially.
Yeah, having it all her own way, showing us lots of variation with defence and attack, and just like I say, I have this real sense of confidence oozing from Ryan. And as we say, this is good matchmaking. There will be tougher tests, but tests with the likes of, she looked for a rematch against Dolan. Lauren Parker lost to Dolan. There's some good fights out there for her.
Yeah, there is. I think we're getting that. And the women's happening for the women's game all the time, but I mean, it's important because they're there now, aren't they? I mean, but there's more domestic fights to be had at a higher level, not the lower level anymore. And yeah, I think she'll be right back in the mix here. This is a real confident display.
Good jabs to start the 6th round. Shot you've been calling for, Barry. Again, just skipping round to the left, just getting back to the centre of the ring, Sky, allowing space behind her.
Yeah, just got caught with silly shots there. You don't want to get too complacent here. I know, like, she's 6 rounds up, but we need to stay composed, stay disciplined. It's what she's good at. You have to give credit to El Busari as well. She has not stopped trying.
Coasting's always a good shot. There's no coasting there. Coasting's always a dangerous thing because you take your foot off the gas, but you give your opponent encouragement. And we know it's like with momentum. Once they get a bit of encouragement, they're a different fighter, and they also down the stretch. Then it becomes a difficult fight to.
Oh, it's a nasty cut, just on the right eye of Busari. Blood streaming down the side of the face, and Ryan lands another lovely right hook. The referee's going to take a look at this. Out of nowhere, that. I think Busari said it's an elbow that caused the damage. Doctor comes over to examine the damage to that eye. Yeah, it's going to continue. It doesn't look, usually a cut round there would avoid the eye, Sky, but it looks as if it's streaming
right into it.
Yeah,
they don't even wipe it.
No, no, they never. Bit of tough love from the doctor, Barry.
I'm not sure if he's allowed to touch you, no, unless he sort of stops right. You can look at it, but I don't think he can touch it.
Oh, it's revved Busari up. She takes her left hook though, but she's really planting the feet and letting these big hooks go.
Nice, neat right hand there. I like the way Ryan there just kept the control there, kept the patience, and just threw a nice little right hand on the middle to finish that round.
Another replay that we can hopefully find here. Was it an elbow from Ryan to cause that damage to the eye of Busari? Yep. She called it Busari. I mean, look, it's accidental. She's not in any way tried to look for the elbow, but yep, it's caused damage. But she's okay to continue.
Bonus 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 7.
Well, 2 more to go here at the copper box in our opening fight of the night between Shannon Ryan and Farah Busari, a tough Moroccan now based in Spain. Now, not only second best in every department, she's got a cut to the side of her right eye, Barry.
She's a good opponent to come up against, so she makes you work for it. You know what I mean? Okay, she's not the hardest target to find, I know that, but she makes you work for it down the stretch. You know, and where Ryan's been holding her feet and putting lots of weight into the shots, when you start to tire, Busari comes into her own a little bit.
She's a former Spanish champion. She does have some good wins. That blood is streaming down that right side, and she just lands another lovely right hook, Sky.
Yeah, this is better from Shannon now. I think she needs to meet the fire with fire a little bit here. Like you said, she's been putting a lot of output in the earlier rounds, and she needs to meet El Busari in the middle here and not let her build any momentum, because this girl is tough.
I think for Ryan, I think because she's an offensive fighter, she needs to start to learn to block and counter with the same hand. Because the way she sits down as well, I think she'll get leverage off the shot and use the punch, you know, as sort of like a little bit of momentum to throw your shot. And then she doesn't have to move around and waste the energy with the legs. She can stand there, sit down, block, counter, and work away.
She lands a nice little uppercut there, Busari, and I just got a glimpse of that cut as she came close to us, and it doesn't look good at all.
But it's not running into the eye though, is it? It's running on the side, so she can see, she can fight.
Busari, the white gloves turning red with every second of this contest. Again, good work, good boxing from Ryan, in and out. Really been in her groove this evening.
Para, ¿me oyes? Para, cariño, escúchame. Tienes que combinar sin importarte lo que venga. Lo único que no tienes que hacer, lo único que no tienes que hacer es tirar golpes desde la distancia larga. Que te lo contragolpea, métete encima de ella.
Es un asalto para ganar el combate. Puede.
Son esos
Well,
rounds
this
locos,
place
para,
is going to be packed and very noisy later on. Dave Allen versus Johnny Fisher. Big rematch. So much controversy from the first one.
Seconds out. 8 and 1 round.
The last round on our opening bout of the evening. Shannon Ryan in the blue corner, and the tough Farah Busari, who's cut to the right side of her eye. Her right eye, she's been up against it, second best, but she's still there, still trying. Showing how tough and game she is.
Oh, good right hand for the body there from Ryan. Missed for the left hand, look over the top, just good shot though. And again. Just to get the words out. Give away too much ground here, that's all. Just encouraging Busari to come forward. Get back on that jab, and a solid right hand on the middle.
Look at this though from Busari. And I agree with you, Barry. What a great opponent she'll be. You know, I mean, she will test a lot of, I mean, you wouldn't even say up-and-coming fighters. I mean, fighters of all levels, really.
Those distance fights take 10 rounds, you know, which is going to make you work, make you see what your tank's like.
But a Very, very good performance, Sky, from Shannon Ryan. She's shown us a bit of everything, hasn't she?
Yeah, really, really good. I think she's looked really composed. I just don't want to see her give Busari too much momentum in this last 30 seconds now. Busari is a very tough girl. She's coming in there. She's throwing a lot of shots now. She might have heard me say offense will be her best defense in there, but she's let her hands go. And I think Shannon's done a really good job so far of weathering the storm and keeping it all her own way.
Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith, both sat ringside. I think they'll be proud of the performance that Busari's put in, you know, and some of the other girls coming through. She's a great opponent. You know, she leaves it all in the ring. She's been tough. She's shown plenty of will to win, but Shannon Ryan there, very, very impressive in this opening bout. She'll be looking to fight for titles again very soon. She's had a taste for it. As we say, unfortunately lost to Emma Dolan. But with that performance, the confidence that she'll get from it, she'll really be able to push on, and I'm sure, no doubt, get a crack at another title, Barry.
Of course she will. She's shown she's a quality fighter. Even in defeat, she shows she's a quality fighter. And you find quite often, especially when you get to the championship level, little things make a big difference. Only little things. So little adjustments can win you or lose you a fight. And so she'll be confident to get back where she belongs. I think Dolan's always stylistically a hard fight for her. But this was the perfect fight. Someone who, you did the rounds, you had to work hard, but ultimately your quality shone through and you won the fight at a wide margin, which was never comfortable. And that's not a bad thing.
Well, David Diamante is in the middle of the ring with a fighter, so let's get the decision from Double D.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of action here at the Copper Box, we go to Kieran McCann's scorecard. It reads 77-74 for your winner, Shannon Chaos Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan gets the 9th win of her career, and she done it in very good fashion. Showed us a bit of everything. Brilliant footwork, composure, rhythm, and a real desire to close the show in style. She didn't get the stoppage, but a very, very good win. Well, 2 fights still to come here in tonight's prelims before we head over to the DAZN. But here's what we have for you from 7 p.m. live on DAZN. Jimmy Sains versus Gideon Onyanani, Kieran Conway, Jerome Warburton, George Liddard, Aaron Sutton, and that epic main event, Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. But next up, the exciting Lenny Busagy. Hasn't put a foot wrong yet as a pro. We're excited to see this young man, local lad, in with Brajulik. Very, very talented. Looked very good last time out against Grant Dennis. But that is an epic fight card for you tonight, starting, as I say, 7 p.m. on DAZN. Couple of mile titles there, Barry. Southern Area middleweight title.
You bring it to yourself, don't you? Yeah. Oh, there's a Welsh flag. There's a Welsh flag. I'm from Wales. There you go. How's that? That's a segue.
But Sky, good performance that from Shannon Ryan.
Yeah, she really impressed me. I mean, I've always been a Shannon Ryan fan. I think she's a great boxer. She's got a lot of talent. And she's tidying all those little bits and pieces up. And I think it shows in every performance, and it showed again tonight. I think she'll learn so much from those 8 rounds. They were valuable rounds. She had a good live opponent in front of her. And yeah, like you said, Barry, she wasn't a hard target to find, but she was tough and she threw back every time she got hit. She stayed in it till the end.
Yeah, and I think she's the perfect opponent, especially if you've got somebody who's on the way up to title level. And then you said, well, they're going to be like 8-10 rounds. That's the opponent, because however easy she is to hit, your skill will get you through. But those last 2 or 3 rounds might be uncomfortable. And as we see a lot of, for the people who fight for titles who are underprepared, it's those championship rounds where you fall apart. So she's the perfect opponent. It's not good for her career, because she takes a hiding, but she's like a gatekeeper. That's the perfect term for her. A gatekeeper. Not good enough to win titles, I don't think, but always going to give you a hard night. And that's going to show you and your coach and your promoter if you've got the metal and the steel to get through, in a hard championship fight when you do get that level, because skill is the most important factor, but it's the smallest ingredient to being a champion.
Right, we're ready for our second fight here on Before the Bell, so let's hand back over to Mr. David Diamante.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our next contest, 6 rounds middleweights. Making his way to the ring at this time, Novak Radulovic.
This is Novak Radulovic, 29-year-old, born in Pristina, Kosovo, now based in Serbia. 20 wins, 12 losses, and 1 draw. The former kickboxer. He lost his last fight in November against Florian Bruno Val over 10 rounds, so he does have experience. I'll tell you, talk about experience, he's been on the road, he's fought pretty much everywhere. He's fought in Italy, France, as I say, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, Macedonia, Hungary, Finland. So I think coming here to London is not going to be an issue for Radulovic, but I will say this is one of the better opponents he's faced in Buttigieg. So let's see how the Kosovo, now based in Serbia, can deal with a young man from a stone's throw away from here.
And now set to make his ring walk from Bow, East London, the undefeated Maltese monster, Lely Buttigieg.
Well, here is the local lad, Lely Buttigieg. He's old and unbelievable. Weighed 164 pounds at yesterday's weigh-in, and I have to say, last time out, a career best win against Grant Dennis. The experienced veteran gives most a tough night. I remember Barry, he looked at us, I don't know if you remember Dennis, as if to say he was good.
Dennis is a good fighter. He really is. I've seen him a lot of times. He's a really, really good fighter. And for me, Buttigieg, he's just starting to show that right control in his work. He knows what he's doing now. Rather than just letting his hands go and just trying to show off, he understands what he has to do to win a fight. So he's breaking fighters down with smart, intelligent work.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Copper Box Arena here in London, England, live on DAZN, we are set to go with a special middleweight attraction. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored tonight by Betfred, Drip, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Tom Life Insurance, Victory Live, and Everlast. Introducing your third man in the ring at the sound of the bell from South Oxy, A-star referee, Mr. Lee Every. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears black and red. He's scaled 11 stone, 7 pounds, 1 ounce. His professional record, 20 victories, 12 defeats, 1 draw, with 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Niš, Serbia, please welcome Novak Radulovic. And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner. He wears black and orange, and he's scaled at already 11 stone, 9 pounds, 6 ounces. His professional record, perfect. 8 fights, 8 victories, with 2 of them coming by way of knockout. Here is the former 4-time amateur national champion, fighting out of Bow, East London, the Maltese monster, Lely Bodijeg.
Boxers, please. Okay, lads, when I say stop, you stop boxing. When I say break, take a step back. Keep your hands up, protect yourself at all times. Good luck to you both. Good luck. Good luck.
Well, second fight here on Before the Bell. And it's Noom's very own Lely Bodijeg in with Novak Radulovic.
Seconds out, round 1.
Middleweight division. And as we said, it was very good last time out, Bodijeg against Grant Dennis. I love the fire and that spite, that real willingness to get stuck in. Sky.
Yeah, I'm a big Lely Bodijeg fan. Obviously, we're in the same gym, same team, so I see the work he does in the gym all the time. He's grown so much physically and as a fighter. But physically, I think that the move up in weight he's made in the last couple of fights has made such a big difference. And at 19 years old, he's probably even going to end up bigger again. But I'm really excited for his journey. I think he's getting better and better, and it's showing in his performances.
Yeah, 4 pounds over the middleweight limit for this one, 164.7, almost 5 pounds. In fact, as you say, he's got that tall frame, still maturing. Very good fighter, well scored, former national champion as a junior. Very accomplished. Just takes a right hand from Radulovic though. Bodijeg working nicely behind the jab barrier.
Yeah, and he's hitting the centre of the ring here without not rushing his work, but staying busy. I think that's a real good quality in any fighter. You're just trying to force your opponent to overreact. Nice little 1-2 down the middle there from Bodijeg. And I think the weight's a really good point what Sky made there, because allowing him to grow into a weight, I think that's not a bad idea, especially for a young man, because maybe sometimes you're just worried about putting your punches together when you are tight on the weight, and now you're growing into a weight and you're young and you've still got time to develop even more so. Now you are being able to do this, take the centre ring, be a bit more bullyish without rushing anything. Just have that confidence. I thought he understood his confidence. Maybe it was confidence in his ability with the weight.
Radulovic, you can see already he's on the retreat. The 12 defeats, he's been stopped 5 times, but travelled, as I say, to Germany. Fought 2 good fighters out there, Oliver Zaran and Jacob Bank, in 2022 and 2021, and went points with both, and they now have a combined record of 32-0. So that's to look after himself, but under the cosh here from the young Lely Bodijeg.
Yeah, and he brings it. Radulovic brings that left hand low when he throws it, and that's always a worry for someone like Bodijeg, who likes to whip that right hand over the top from distance as well. If you can just time that coming back, that jab, is going to be in trouble.
Oh, lovely. Left to the body from Bodijeg. Stunning shot there. Really got it round that right elbow of Radulovic. Starting to plant his feet a little bit here. As I say, former kickboxer, been fighting all his life pretty much, but that's a lovely left hook from Lely Bodijeg. The legs seem to stiffen for a second there. 8 seconds left in this opening round. He's a very good finisher, is Bodijeg. It looks as if he's going to survive. And he does.
The Whopper from Burger King. 100% flame-grilled beef. Now juicier and tastier than ever, with fresh ingredients and even fluffier buns. Same, but hits different. Whopper never tasted so good.
sure Al Smith, who you know really well, Sky, will be thrilled with that opening round.
Yeah, very happy with that. It's... Oh.
He's having a look, wasn't he, Al?
What was going on there? No, Al would have been very happy with that. He doesn't like any of us to rush our work, and he tries to really hold us back, especially in that opening round. But I think Lely was perfect out there. He was very patient, and he took that opportunity, even though it was too late at the end of the round there, to let his hands go.
Yeah, it was a lovely shot, left hook high on top of the head, really staggered, and see the legs go of Radulovic, working nicely again behind the jab, good variation, dropping down to the body is Buttigieg. Looking good, Barry.
He's looking really well, and again, you know, the point about just not rushing your work is so important. You can just see more, doesn't you? You've got time. You realise exuberance of youth sometimes makes you over-rush everything and smother your work and spoil it. But again, just the confidence and knowing where he is now, just not getting too close to the target. It was a lovely long left hook right on the temple of Radulovic that just made those legs have a little bit of a funny dance. And again, but he didn't rush it, he just took his time. No, he got a lot of time to do his work and landed a big right hand before the bell.
Looking menacing, creeping forward, working behind that lovely stiff ramrod of a jab. And I like that variation with the lead hand, hook, uppercut, off the jab. It's a bit wild and slow with that right hand, but yeah, that desire to get stuck in, as you talk about, Barry, I think it endears us to him. You know, it's so nice to watch. And when he wins, Barry, he really does celebrate.
I think he hurt Radulovic with a body shot there as well, Buttigieg.
He's applying really smart pressure, stalking his opponent, picking his shots really well. Lots of variations of shots.
Yeah, he's not reckless, is he, Sky? He's very calculated for such a young man. The way he's creeping forward, that's nice, and a little step out of range, but as I say, looking menacing as he creeps forward. Very dangerous.
It's important to just continue to steal that space with that front foot. Always making Radulovic just go back a little bit further and put himself on the ropes.
Keeping it long there, double jab followed by a right hand, just managing to take some of the sting out of the shot. Radulovic.
And then the right hand after the double jab, he did good work with the double jab there. But
oh! Right uppercut followed by a left hook. He took it well, Radulovic, but he's in trouble, gamely trying to fire back, but he's down from a left hook, high on top of the head. And I'll tell you what, this young man, Lely Buttigieg, is looking a monster in there right now. Landing some heavy shots.
The way he opened his eyes there, Buttigieg, when he caught him with a good shot, making sure he didn't miss with any follow-up attacks.
Again, dropping to the body now, that variation. He's got 20 seconds here to try and close the show. Double left hook.
He'll go through the middle here now, Buttigieg. Dip those legs and punch right through the middle.
Yeah, credit to the young man. He's not rushing his work. He's biding his time. He knows he can hurt Radulovic, who lands another left hook.
Hi, my name's Luke Ambler, the co-founder of Andy's Man Club. I'm over here at Pure Gym today with Matthew. We're going to be talking all things mental health and also training. Let's go. What made you go to Andy's Man Club?
It was mainly my girlfriend that pushed me to do it as well, yeah.
Because guys don't like to accept we've got a problem, do we? So what is it that you're training for?
For me, it's a mental side of things. I like the challenge of like pushing myself.
This is like carrying a little burden, and sometimes you have to have a little break.
Bonus 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 3.
Well, it has been an extremely explosive start from Lely Buttigieg, and in the break there, the corner of Radulovic. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could hear the coach's instructions or war cry back in Serbia, really screaming at his man. The referee went over to have a word as well, I think, as if to say, if he takes any one of those again,
to stop the fight, to stop the fight for any more punishment in the corner.
Yeah. And again, we're seeing the.
That's not what you need to be shouted at, though. I mean, there are times where you need to, you know, kick on the ear or come get up what you're doing. But he's being turned over here. It's about how do you feel, son? That's the question you ask.
Yeah, look, and do you know what? The referee is spot on there, in my opinion. You're right, Barry. Look, I think that's more the corner needs to have had a word with their man. Look, they're kind of bewildered there. They're not too sure what has happened, but he was completely getting a hammer in there.
He was. I think there's an argument that, you know, you could have given more time to get into that round. I would say that, to be honest. But you know, you got to go what you've seen in the two previous rounds, where he's got a bit of a going over. Certainly at the end of that last round, where you know, he was up against it. He was getting beat out quite easily there by Buttigieg. So you can only really, the referee sort of just preempted what was going to be a bit of a torrid round there or torrid 20 seconds before he genuinely gets stopped.
Well, I said it in our opening contest, Sky, that Shannon Ryan had a confidence about her, swagger about her. Well, the same could be said about this young man here.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. He's getting the crowd involved now, soaking up the moment. He absolutely lives for it. He loves it. And I really do believe that move up in weight, we're seeing that power that was maybe being held back a little bit when he was cutting too much weight in those earlier fights. So I'm really glad that we're seeing the full prospect in Lely Buttigieg now.
But look at the focus he had. His eyes are widened when he heard him with the first shot. And then the accuracy in his work. He hits him here, and then he just doesn't rush it, but barely misses with a shot. And what he's doing now, he's not just throwing his hands, he's looking for the angle. He's turning his body for the uppercut, throwing that right hand over the top, looking for every shot that's going to hit the target clean. A really good display.
Yeah, very good display. And again, I said it in the contest, when he wins, you can see what it means to him. And another very impressive display for the local man, Lely Buttigieg, who moves to 9-0 as a professional. Back over to David.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Lee Every calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 45 seconds of round number 3, declaring the winner by TKO. He's still undefeated, the Maltese monster, Lely Buttigieg.
Yep, young Lely Buttigieg moves to 9-0, 3 inside the distance. And that's his last 2 inside the distance. Grant Dennis followed up by that very good display against Novak Radulovic. And Al Smith, the team, yourself, Sky, will be thrilled with that performance from the young man.
Yeah, absolutely buzzing. Just seeing all the team in there now and the big smiles on their faces, it's always a nice feeling. Lely's going to be very, very happy with that performance, and just going to keep the ball going, keep that momentum going.
Onwards and upwards for young Lely Buttigieg. I can see Eddie Hearn, the fighter himself, and the handsome reporter that is Jamie Ward, standing by the victor.
Okay, Lely, 9-0. Safe to say, look, a nice local one for you tonight here in East London. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, 100%. I'm loving it, you know. Staying active. A couple of weeks ago, got a stoppage, and I said in my last fight I was going to come here and get another stoppage, and that's exactly what I've done.
The ref had seen enough in the end. You hurt him at the end of that first round, dropped him in the second round. Just talk us through how you methodically broke Radulovic down tonight.
Yeah, I was just taking my time, you know, working behind the jab. I felt like I knew he wasn't as strong as me in there. I could feel him fading, you know, going through the round. So I knew I was going to get him out of there. It was just in a matter of time.
I think one thing everyone's admiring about you, Lely, still just 20 years of age, but what a year you've had so far from James Todd, tough fight on paper, Grant Dennis, and then again tonight. What's given you that self-belief to not just take the tough challenges, but rise to the occasion like this?
I think it was the James Todd fight, you know. I learned a lot from that fight, you know. I showed that I can dig deep, have a tear up, and like, I'm literally just starting to get my strength now, you know. Me and Jordan are working hard in the gym, starting to find my power, so a lot more of that to come in my next coming fights.
Let's grab a word with promoter Eddie Hearn. Eddie, in terms of where we're at right now, as I say, just 20 years old, but that's the 7th scheduled 6-rounder. How do you move forward now with performances like we're seeing?
I thought that was a great performance. I mean, that opponent, you know, he's had, I think, 4 10-rounders, boxed in big international contests. He was the one that was supposed to give Lely rounds tonight. That was his best performance yet as a professional. I mean, the Grant Dennis performance was really good. He stopped him, but that was really impressive. Nice and calm, controlling the pace of the fight. He's fighting really well on the inside. His inside fighting has improved so much, and that's what I say to him. The jab was looking really sharp. Once he sits on the chest, he is, as they call him, the Maltese monster. Beautiful work to the body, punches really hard, you know, and this is a massive... Tonight probably should have been an 8-rounder, wouldn't have mattered anyway, but 100% next, it's 8 rounds. You know, he's had 9 fights already in, what, 10 months as a professional? So that's 3 fights this year so far. I'll let him have a holiday now, a few weeks off, and then we close with a couple of 8-rounders. I'd like to see him fight for some kind of eliminator or Southern Area title. You've got Jimmy Sains fighting later on. He's just probably 1 or 2 fights ahead at the moment. But when you talk about the future, fights like Laley, Jimmy Sains, George Liddard, these are going to be massive fights that are going to be filling this place one day. This is an outstanding talent, good man, improving all the time, working hard, and he's got a huge future, and great fans as well. Great support from down the road, and the future's very bright for Laley.
Great stuff, Lenny Butchie, congratulations, 9-0. Well done, great performance.
Yeah, they're very impressive. Lenny Butchie, 9-0, and that's 2 very, very impressive victories, Barry, back to back.
I don't know, what's that big fella's name who was just talking in the suit? There was no inside work, he kept it all long. Even the shots through the middle were sort of long, I think. But I do understand what he's saying, though, that he's become a bit of a monster. Every punch, he punches with authority with everything he does, and he looks a different fighter. But you know what I put it down to, and I'm not going to give Sky all the credit here, but success breeds success. When you're around quality fighters, you become a better fighter. Now a trainer, no seriously, a trainer's worth his weight. It's true though, isn't it? A trainer's worth his weight in gold. You've been there. When you have fighters around you, you learn from each other. And I think and he's a product of that, because he's looking now like an all-round fighter.
What a crop of middleweights as well that Eddie mentioned there, right here in London actually, Butchie, Liddard and Sains. That's not a bad little bunch there, is it? And look, Sains fighting for the Southern Area title this evening. Liddard in a semi-final, we found out on Wednesday's presser, if he gets through his test. And you know, the other, there's British and Commonwealth test there, Kieran Conway and Warburton. But what a little crop there to get excited about.
I would say Butchie's in a better position because he's just a little bit behind them, so he can watch them. And he's watching them or they're watching him. I think that's important. And does he study?
Yeah, a little bit younger than them as well. Obviously, he's still in 6-rounders. They're fighting in title fights now, 10-rounders. So yeah, I agree. He's watching what's happening. He's seeing what's ahead of him, and he's taking his time with it. I think it's perfect.
Lovely. Well, that was a brilliant performance. But we're ready for bout number 3 on Before the Bell. So back over to David we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, next up, super middleweights, making his way to the ring, El Apache, Juan Cruz Cachero.
Well, here is Juan Cruz Cachero, 32-year-old Argentinian. This is a good measuring stick, this, for Taylor Bevan, because he fought last time, Cachero, against Aaron Bowen. He was beaten every round, but went the distance. Showed that he's tough, he's durable. He'll look to throw the jab and fire in the right hand every now and again. But it's safe to say he is well and truly up against it here. Does have 7 wins, 4 losses, 1 no contest in his debut as a professional. Only stopped the once. But in with a different beast altogether in Taylor Bevan.
And now entering the arena, Taylor Bevan.
Well, what a talented young man this is. 3 wins, all coming inside the distance. And as a fellow Welshman, Barry, how proud are you of this young man?
Oh, I fell in love with him in the Commonwealth Games when he got the silver, you know, and he was just absolutely brilliant. And if he didn't have that war in the quarterfinals with Aaron Bowen, of all people, he might have just won the gold. But he lost against a good Scottish fighter in Lazzarini, of course. But I'm so excited because he's been fantastic. He's got great boxing skills, but it's the power that's impressed everybody. And also, I can't remember the last time Wales had a really good super middleweight. So we've been overdue one for a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's our weight, isn't it? Let's be honest.
The great Joe Calzaghe. If he follows in his footsteps, he's not going to be far bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Copper Box Arena here in London, England, live on DAZN, the action continues with a special super middleweight attraction. And it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by Betfred, Drip, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Tom Insurance, Victory Live, and Everlast. Introducing your third man in the ring at the sound of the bell, from charity, referee Rocky Israel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears the black trunks with silver trim. He scaled 12 stone, 1 pound, 6 ounces. Professional record, 7 victories, 4 defeats, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Peleando desde Buenos Aires, Argentina, please welcome El Apache, Juan Cruz Cachero. And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner. He wears black with silver and red trim. He scaled 12 stone, 1 pound, 8 ounces. Young professional record, absolutely perfect. 3 fights, 3 victories, all 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former Team GB amateur standout, the Commonwealth Games silver medalist, the fast-rising young fighter from Southampton, Taylor Bevan.
All right, lads, you already know the rules. Above all, protect yourself and obey my command at all times. Now touch gloves and good luck.
Well, bout number 4 for the talented Taylor Bevan.
Seconds out for round 1.
And he has not put a foot wrong, straight to the center of the ring. Sky, I'm sure you've been as impressed as me and Barry have.
I have. He's a very smooth operator, very clean boxer, and obviously got that devastating power. So what's not to like about Taylor Bevan?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I look at my notes, all I can see is destroyed and devastating on my notes. And it was a destruction job last time out against Alex Makovic. It was an absolute sickener of a left uppercut. The variation, the accuracy, the speed in which he delivers the shot, so impressive. And yeah, I mean, he really does have it all carved out of stone.
What he does, Darren, so well for me is, and we say it all the time, punching inside your body frame, which means rather than lift your elbows up to throw a shot, he turns his body into the punch, and that's why he threw that uppercut through the middle, because he turned his body in a short space just to make sure he rotates into the uppercut through the middle, finding the angle of the shot, but keeping it neat all the time.
Weighed 169.8 pounds at yesterday's weigh-in, so not far off the super middleweight limit already. Looking big, looking strong, looking solid. Under the watchful eye of legend Colin Jones. There's a lovely left to the body there, just gets round the elbow, and that's one thing you see with a lot of these top-class amateurs turning professional is the accuracy of their shots. You're one to mention, Sky, and we're seeing that with Taylor Bevan already, aren't we?
Yeah, he has good accuracy, good timing, and he picks his shots really well. You can see the experience he has from his amateur career. It shines through, even though he's only done a handful of rounds really as a professional.
As I say, Cachero last out against Aaron Bowen. Did go the distance, so it's a good measuring stick. Only stopped the once in his 4 defeats. Looks solid.
And let's not forget, Bowen boxed really well. I think one of the best he's boxed. I thought he was really, really controlled with his work. But Bevan's a little more menace about his work, Bevan. And again with the feet, he's taking those little steps back, but he's making sure he's a bully with that front foot all the time.
He's always looking for the opening, isn't he? He's always trying to set the traps. Pulls out the jab every now and again, he'll feint.
but he's a full step in and a quarter step back. So you can almost reach him, but he knows that he's going to just commit to his shots if you leave a gap. Because he works behind a solid left-hand jab as well, there's power and weight in that. It makes you think twice before you... Because just a little secondary thought in your brain before you let your hands go. That slows you down.
So well, he really does the variation. Very good last 10 seconds in this opening round. It's been a good one from Taylor Bevan.
It's never a coincidence. Excellence demands commitment and the drive to refine every detail. On and off the court.
But there's a big crew of Taylor Bevan fans on the top tier, sat behind us, making themselves heard. They'll be happy with their man's opening round, their measured approach to it, working well behind the jab, looking to find the openings. Cuchero not offering much, Barry, must be said, but showing his toughness.
He hasn't been allowed to, that's why, let's be honest. I think it's been so forceful here from Bevan on the front foot, the solid. Look at that weight in that jab. And he also just brings that right glove just in front of his chin when he throws a jab. So you can catch him to try and throw with him.
He's got a man who knows how to survive. I'd like to see Bevan just maybe with a few more feints just to try and open up that guard a little bit.
Nice right hand over the jab, but Cuchero comes back with a right hand of his own. And he gets aggressively on the front foot like he does here.
Quickened his feet there, isn't he? Just took a little skip to the right there, Bevan, just to keep Cuchero where he wants him, in the corner on the ropes. Not much space to escape.
Very spiteful.
What he wants you, Bevan, ultimately to come at him. So he's forcing him in the corners on the ropes, where your only escape route is to fire back. And with that, there's a gap. And with the gap, he thinks that he can exploit that.
Cuchero just walking onto a body shot there. He was wide open there. It was a lovely left right into the guts of Cuchero. He just sort of rides these shots, keeps the hands high, looking to trade with Bevan. Probably not a good idea. He's under the cosh here though. The referee jumps in and Cuchero.
That's a good stoppage, that is. Cuchero, when the referee said that's enough, he looked at the referee there, he looked at Rocky and he just went, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, Cuchero saved for another day there from the referee. He looks a little disappointed in the corner. Not just Cuchero, but I'm looking over at Taylor Bevan. I think he wanted a bit more than that, but...
He wants that conclusive knockout. I understand that, he does. But I mean, he's beating him up, but he's not firing back. I mean, when you get in the corner and ropes like that for a long enough time, you're going to get hurt. So you've got to fire back. You don't fire back, the referee's going to see you in distress, and with that, he has to stop the fight.
Colin Jones there in the corner. Let's have a look at the stoppage here. It was a good barrage of shots. Nothing really coming back.
Oh, just dipped the legs, that body shot. I think that's what made me put the referee on alert there. I think that was it, that body shot. Just made him just sink a little bit. And then there was just... And also, he's taking into account what's happened in the previous round when he took a little bit of a going over.
Happy with the stoppage, Sky?
Yeah, I think it was a good stoppage. There was nothing coming back. He didn't get hurt. There wasn't a devastating blow, but he wasn't throwing anything back. So you can't really argue with that.
Well, 4-4 for Taylor Bevan. So impressive. Let's hand it back to David.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Rocky Israel calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute, 33 seconds of round round number 2, declaring your winner by TKO. He's still undefeated, Taylor Bevan.
Well, the crowd are going mad behind us. The couple of 100 that have made the trip to support Taylor Bevan, they'll be thrilled with their man. But like I say, 4 wins, 4 stoppages. And a little smile on the face. Brian Peters there. Great hands. And that really was a devastating display once again. Taylor Bevan.
He's not putting a foot wrong, is he? The only issue I got is that he gets to train with Colin Jones, and Colin's my hero. I'm gutted. I love Colin Jones. He is, for me, the best British fighter never to win a world title.
Really?
To me, without a doubt, yeah. Because he did win one, really. He was brilliant.
But he's in safe hands. The total package is Taylor Bevan. Eddie Hearn, Jamie Ward. Let's hear from Taylor Bevan.
Okay. Taylor Bevan, congratulations. That's 4 fights, 4 wins, and 4 knockouts as well. In terms of what happened at the end there, can you understand why the referee had seen enough? What was your version of events?
Yeah, I can see why he stopped. I think it could have gone on maybe a little bit longer, but the ending was soon. If he didn't stop it then, it would have been a bit later in the round.
Everyone's getting a bit excited about Taylor Bevan right now, but each time you fight, no matter how impressive we might think you are, you always seem a little bit self-critical. Can you be a little bit happy at least with that one?
Yeah, I'm a little bit happy, but a lot of room for improvement. Not my best performance, but I'm happy to get him out of there. He's a tough, durable bloke, and yeah, I'm pleased to get the win, but lots to learn from that fight.
Talk about being tough and durable. We know Cachero took your old amateur rival in the Commonwealth Games, of course, Aaron Bowen, 6 rounds earlier this year. Are those type of measuring sticks and statements something that you're interested in?
Yeah, that's a fight I watched a lot of leading up to this fight, because obviously it wasn't long ago, and it is someone I can sort of measure myself against, Aaron, because I've been in the ring with him. So yeah, it gives me a confidence boost that I managed to get him out of there.
I asked Eddie Buttigieg this question, who's had 9 fights, that your 4th fight, of course, but with the amateur pedigree. What are you enjoying? Each time you come in here, you seem a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more composed. What are you learning about yourself each time?
Just to stay composed and go in there and put performance on, and just I love boxing in front of a crowd, and boxing the amateurs so long in these random European countries, and having had the support with me, and it's just amazing to have all these fans come up and support me, and I couldn't thank them enough for it.
Let's bring in promoter Eddie Hearn. Eddie, we always say this, look, when a young fighter with a great amateur pedigree turns over, when is too early to start getting excited? What is your thoughts right now on Taylor Bevan?
I was excited a long time ago. I mean, look, he says it wasn't his greatest performance. He's just stopped a guy in a couple of rounds. I thought the stoppage was a little bit early, if I'm honest, and I think even Taylor felt like he wanted to keep on going in there. That guy beat Palacios, who had a war with Kateev recently as well. This was a decent, durable opponent. So the progression's great. With 4 fights in, 4 KOs. Again, I talk about the quality of the global stable, the age of these guys. These are exceptional talents that are going to be world champion. And the support is unbelievable. I mean, that lot up there, just incredible. You know, and over there as well. There's loads of them. They were walking around Stratford today with Taylor Bevan masks on. I said to him in the presser, I said, how come you're so quiet? And that lot was just crazy. They have travelled with him all over the country so far. And the announcement will come this week, but in July they will have about 20 minutes to travel for his next fight. And it's going to be a lot closer to home. So I'm looking forward to that. One day you're going to see big fights for him on the South Coast. Listen, he's a future world champion. The work ethic, the mindset, the ability, it's all there. And these guys are going to be with him all the way.
Taylor, final one to you for everyone who made the trip to East London. What do you want to say to them?
Yeah, just thank you everyone for making the trip again. I can't thank you enough, and thank you Matchroom for getting me on these brilliant cards. I'm loving it.
Taylor Bevan, congratulations, 4-0, a brilliant performance. Well done to you.
Future world champion Taylor Bevan, says Eddie Hearn. Well, our top of the bill is coming later on DAZN. Johnny Fisher has once again sold out this place as he takes on Dave Allen. This week it's been all business for the Romford Bull, as he believes he has a point to prove after his controversial victory over David last November.
He was too friendly, I was too nice. I need to be a little bit colder. I'm fighting him. He's my enemy. The minute it gets close, you sort of prepare your mind to know that the daggers will come out and the serpents will appear. I still hurt him in certain spots, and I can do that again. Without a doubt, I can get him. That's why I've taken myself here, to this land, this desolate land, because I don't want to be distracted by anything. I'm doing my job. My job is to win boxing matches, nothing else. I can't be as nice. When I'm in the ring, I'm not nice. I've got to harness that a little bit more. It means doing my job properly, and my job is to win a boxing match. Strip everything else away, all the bull, all the talking, all the from other people outside the ring. They don't know what it's like when you get in there.
Well, listen, it was quite easy for Johnny to move on with his career. I wasn't happy with the first one. I hate to say that. I want to, you know, I know Johnny can do a lot better than that. I still thought he won the fight, but it's just the scream from the public, and we want to put that right. Good boy, look at that. Look at that man move. Look, he's like Muhammad Ali. Look, who'd have think the Romford boy would look like Muhammad Ali? Johnny is naturally a gentleman. I think he feels he was a little bit too nice in that first one. Dave old-manned him in areas. Johnny learnt a few lessons that night, turned a few corners as well. He understands the small things that he needs to iron out. Johnny is looking fine. I promise you that. Good boy, you got it. At his best, he outboxes, he outfoxes, he pings and stings, cracks at times, and he puts him away in good fashion. Without taking punishment. We don't want to take punishment. We want to be in this game for the long game. Bam, bam, hook, cross hook. But we want to look exciting as well. Bam, 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 bam again. Bam, 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 bam. Bam. Entertain, bring the pain, baby.
I've always trained professionally, I've always trained hard, but whether one thing or the other just gets in the way sometimes. Little 1% build up, you know, like you beat Babic in 20 seconds.
Oh, big shots, he's got the pressure, unleashes.
You have a knockout in Vegas in a round.
It's accurate and it's powerful, and the referee steps in.
You don't take your eye off the ball because I'm a professional, but you can't help but little things can creep in, but stripping it back to where we need to be. It's an exchange of blows. Do I ever think about what Dave Allen's doing? No. I'll see him on May 17th, and it means business.
Well, our last fight here on Before the Bell sees unbeaten John Hedges take on a fighter with a famous fighting surname, Nathan Quales, as his uncle Noel fought a who's who of heavyweights back in the 1980s. The vacant English cruiserweight title on the line for this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Copper Box Arena here in London, England, live on DAZN, it's now time for the first of our 5 title matches for the night as we go 10 rounds for the vacant English Cruiserweight Championship. Set to make his ring walk from Liverpool, Nathan Quales.
Here is Liverpool's Nathan Quales. Weighed 198.8 pounds at yesterday's weigh-in, and as we mentioned there, he's got a famous fighting surname. Uncle Noel was a professional in the 80s, having 31 fights, and his last fight was against a 6-0 Lennox Lewis. Nathan's last fight was in March, beating Perry Howell comfortably over 6 rounds. Fancies this one. The one loss to Vidal Riley a couple of years ago. Says he's learned an awful lot from that defeat and is ready for the challenge of John Hedges tonight.
And now entering the arena, please welcome the undefeated southpaw from Takeley, the gentleman, John J. Hedges.
Well, here is John Hedges, 23 from Takeley, Essex, the gentleman. He was just a fraction under 200 pounds, the cruiserweight limit. for this one. A 6'6" southpaw. They're a joy to box in, Barry, aren't they?
Look, I box anyone who's 6'6". I mean, yeah, on paper it's a nightmare, isn't it? But he's clever with it. He's not just no tall and awkward. He's got a good boxing brain. He's boxing well, I think. A really good rhythm to his work. But this is going to be a hard night for him. For Qualis, the losing to Vidal Riley, as we saw Riley's last fight, is not such a bad thing anymore. Golovkin is a quality fighter, so they're going to be coming in both full of confidence, I feel, tonight.
Yeah, English title on the line. He won the Southern Area last time out, beating Lewis Oakford. Suffered a nasty cut, did Oakford. They went to the judges, and this man here won. He's up and left Essex, moved to Manchester, and you can see the legend that is Ricky Hatton, just out of shot now.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Copper Box Arena here in London, England, live on DAZN, it's now time for a special cruiserweight title attraction. And it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by Betfred, Drip, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Tom Insurance, and Everlast. This bout is sanctioned under the auspices of the British Boxing Board of Control. The area representative is Ben Harmsworth. Introducing your 3 judges scoring this title contest from ringside, all from England: Michael Alexander, Kieran McCann, and Marcus McDonald. And at the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring, A-star referee, Mr. Lee Every. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the vacant English Cruiserweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears black with gold trim. He scaled 14 stone, 2 pounds, 8 ounces. His professional record, 13 victories, only 1 defeat. Fighting out of Liverpool, Nathan Quarles. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the navy, silver, and black. This southpaw scaled 14 stone, 3 pounds, 8 ounces. His professional record, perfect. 10 fights, 10 victories, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the reigning and undefeated Southern Area Cruiserweight Champion, fighting out of Takeley, Essex, the gentleman, John J. Hedges.
Okay, lads, when I say stop, you stop boxing. When I say break, take a step back. Keep your hands up, protect yourself at all times. Good luck to you both. Good luck.
10 rounds for the English Cruiserweight title. John Hedges, Nathan Quarles. Final fight here on before the bell at the Copper Box.
Seconds out, round 1.
Southern Area champion, John Hedges, against Liverpool's Nathan Quarles for the English title. Sky, you made of John Hedges' development the last couple of years?
He's good, obviously. He's been quite inactive with injury. I think he's a great, smart southpaw. He's obviously very tall, rangy, good amateur pedigree as well. It's interesting, this fight, obviously. Quarles' only loss being to Vidal Riley. Obviously, John Hedges coming through this fight, the winner. That would be naturally the fight he would be looking for to make next, from English title going to British title against Vidal Riley. So this will be an interesting fight to see where that looks.
What do you make of the team up with Ricky Hatton? A good move?
Yeah, I mean, Ricky Hatton's obviously a legend of the game himself, and he's establishing himself as a good trainer. Yeah, I like the move. I don't mind the move.
I can understand it, Barry. Very good at range, John Hedges, and someone like Ricky Hatton, very good inside fighter, the way he planted his feet with the body shots. And
I got to be honest with Darren, but Ricky doesn't train fighters the way he used to fight. I mean, I got to give him the credit for that. A lot of trainers don't do that, of course, but you tend to think, oh, he'll get him going in close and spinning around the target, throwing his uppercuts through the middle. But I don't think he will, you know. I think he'll go your strength to this. Long, jab is your king. Keep everyone on that jab, keep everyone looking, reaching for you. If you're that tall, you've got that much range, and you're southpaw, so your foot's going to be natural on the outside, make him come and find you without running. I think that's important, without running. And for Koala's here, he's got to get that, slide that foot on the outside, throw that right hand down the middle. If once Hedges gets into his rhythm, it's going to be very hard for him. I know he's not a puncher, not a come forward fighter, Koalas, but he has to sort of be a little bit more assertive in this fight.
yeah, I think Koalas against Riley was disappointed with his performance. Didn't really get going. He was beaten in the shutout. And wants to make up for that beautiful jab from Hedges. That's his best shot. As we pointed out, he also throws a lovely long looping left hand. Very dangerous with that shot, Hedges. See the focus on the young man's eyes.
And also, you know, when you're the shorter fighter, and I know two thing about that, I think it's important that you can get low. You can't get low enough. I mean, the lower that, the better for you. You're hard to target to hit. It's hard to be accurate punching down, and you get a different view. I say this all the time: a different view of the target. It's a big wider view.
Good work from Hedges. Reverse 1-2, pushing Koalas back onto the ropes. Liverpudlian just trying to creep forward now, hold the centre of the ring, but it's been a good, calculated opening round from John Hedges, working the jab in that lead hand well.
Hi, my name's Luke Ambler, the co-founder of Andy's Man Club. I'm over here at Pure Gym today with Matthew. We're going to be talking all things mental health and also training. Let's go. What made you go to an Andy's Man Club?
It was mainly my girlfriend that pushed me to do it as well, yeah.
Because guys don't like to accept we've got a problem, do we? So what is it that you're training for?
For me, it's a mental side of it. I like the challenge of like pushing myself.
This is like carrying the burden, and sometimes you have to have a little break.
It's only early in the fight, so I don't need a shitload of them. But more of them, you know, every time you...
Yeah, first fight, these two pairing. The great Ricky Hatton, John Hedges.
Second round, round 2.
It was a good opening round for Hedges. Into feint, trying to unlock the puzzle in front of him. What is Koalas? Not offered much yet, just circling the ring round to his left. As I say, didn't really get going against Riley. Frustrated with his performance. He's had some battles outside of the ring, Koalas, but feels he's in a very good place now. Learned from that defeat. Can he transfer what he's been doing in the gym into the ring? What you'd have to say the most important fight of his life so far, as it is for John Hedges. Big opportunity this to capture the English title and move on. Good work on the back foot there from Hedges.
Just a little skip with the feet then, when he still throw that left hand on the middle. The problem that Koalas has is that, you know, when you're a boxer and a bit of a mover, and you've got to sort of be the aggressor, it's hard to change your tact. It really is, even though you've had time to train for it. And also, because you're not a big puncher. I mean, you know, you don't want to be too forceful. You don't want to walk out the shot. You're well aware of all this, and so, you know, but he still has to try and get inside that long reach. That's going to be the problem for him. Plus, he boxes at his own pace, and which is not really a fast pace. And I think he has to be the one going quicker, going faster, going more often in this fight to make a dent in Hedges.
Yeah, smooth, relaxed boxer. Likes to control the pace, Hedges. Good amateur pedigree as a junior, won numerous national titles, and Koalas himself, decent amateur pedigree, some notable names on the record. Lost to Chev Clark, Chris Billam-Smith, 2016, 2017 in the national quarters and semis. And by that one defeat to Riley, which by the way doesn't look a bad defeat now, albeit he lost every round, but Riley proving he's a very good fighter.
isn't he just?
Yeah, really brilliant. Really, really good display against Chev Park.
Boxing really well at the Hedges. You know, he can afford the weights as well, because he knows Quarles has to try and walk him down. But he's not walking down with any pace, so he's just, you know, he's allowed at that time to set up his attacks here, Hedges.
Measured so far, Sky, from
Yeah,
Hedges.
I like the way he's using the long lead hand, kind of leaving it out there a little bit, keeping control of that distance at all times, making his men work without letting him get too close. I like that.
Yeah, you would though, southpaw, see? Leaving that hand out there, getting on your nerves.
Oh, nice body shot there as he just missed with the right hand, Quarles, but I'd like to see that from Quarles just getting a bit more offensive. Good to see. Hedges looking to mix fire with fire though. Starting to heat up in this second round.
Listen, don't like pressure. Don't look like he likes pressure. Every time you open up, you drop for him. Entice him in, you'll entice him in by just sticking a few more feints in.
Third round here, final fight before the belt for the English cruiserweight title. Huge stack card coming your way, 7 PM live on DAZN. I don't need reminding, but it's that epic rematch between Dave Allen and Johnny Fisher. Lots of controversy from the first fight. Two extremely confident heavyweights. I'm sure the roof is going to come off for this venue later tonight. See this one, it's been Hedges, composed, relaxed, measured is the word I used in the previous round, and very comfortable. I think you're right, Barry, he needs to try and grab hold of the pace of this fight, Quarles, doesn't he?
Yeah, but again, it all starts with the feet, and I think, you know, I was talking about, you know, being a mover and he's not that fleet-footed, but if you do have fast feet, then you can be slightly more aggressive, you can get quicker to the target quicker than that. You can't be walking forward like he is. So I think you got to get a bit lower, engage those leg muscles a little bit better, and explode off that back foot when he does commit to an attack. But at the minute now, it's just a little bit one pace, and that suits Hedges down to the ground.
Yep, just working behind the jab, looking for the slow counters to come back from Quarles so he can fire back with his own. Anything you'd like to see Hedges do at this moment, Sky?
I mean, he's fighting safely. It's not always the most exciting to watch when you're fighting safe, but he's doing what he needs to do against this style of opponent.
Lovely left to the body there from Hedges.
But Scott, it's not on him to do it though, is it? It's not, is it?
No, I agree. I believe it is on Quarles. He's going to have to push the pace, push the pressure, and bring more punches.
And like I say, I think that was the problem against Riley. And of course, Riley being a very good fighter, but he just didn't get going. I think he was trying to get, but the corner were trying to get him going, Quarles, and didn't really respond. So this is his opportunity now to right that wrong and really make a name for himself. There's that left hook. He took it well though, Quarles, didn't he?
But I tell you one thing, when you're a boxer and you're boxing a guy so much taller than you, who's also a southpaw, who's also patient, they're not the ingredients that you need to be at your best. So sometimes you just got to grit it out and dog it out, and it's easy to say it, harder to do it.
Yeah.
His right-handed up from Quarles.
Yeah, it was just leaning back on the shot there, hands low, Hedges, and Quarles found the right hand as he does again there. Starting to get going a little bit here. Liverpudlian, both competing in their second 10-rounder this evening.
Hedges got to try and get that left uppercut into play somehow, especially when Quarles really commits. You can throw that long, so he has the leverage and the reach to throw that nice and long to the head. Yeah, he threw the straight left there, but I think the uppercut would have been better served.
Or just signs there. We're starting to see Quales open up, make the fight of this.
Have that little upper body movement for me. But I think he's ready for a second attack. When you land, you know what I mean? And you're just leaving yourself out of range. You land in your first attack and you're just not quite there to capitalise on the second attack, you know what I mean? When you land the first one, it's in no man's land. Just have a little bit of a hold your feet, a little bit of a sharp look and go again with a second attack. I'm not talking like punches.
Seconds. Seconds out to round 4.
Fourth round of this 10-rounder, as I say, for the English cruiserweight title. It's been a mature performance so far from John Hedges. Boxing at his own pace, doing things his own way right now. But as I say, at the end of that last round, see Quales starting to open up a little bit, starting to gamble a little bit more with his own right hand.
The thing is, he's getting, sorry, Darren, he's getting his foot on the outside, Quales, when he throws his jab. You can see it not here, but if he can just slide that front, when he takes a step to the left, just slide it behind the foot of Hedges, then he can throw that right hand through in the middle. And I always say against the southpaw, if you land with one right hand, throw another one, because you're very rarely going to get the chance to land. So just, you know, bam, bam, straight away, make the most of it. But you've got to take that step forward, and it's got to be on the outside of the front foot.
Getting that right to the body wouldn't go amiss, I don't think, Sky. That straight right to the body. He does lean back slightly. He takes the sting out of the shot upstairs, doesn't he? So if he was to sort of bend the knees, take that step as Barry says, and throw that right to the body, he may have some success.
Yeah, definitely. And I think even then finishing back up top with a hook or something just to keep himself balanced. It's always a little bit harder when you're fighting for that outside foot position with the southpaw. But if he can sink in that right hand to the body and finish back up top with the hook to keep himself balanced.
There it is. And if you've seen the feet there, I hope they've seen it at home. He took a big step. His foot was right. The heels are almost touching from the front feet. You've got to take that big step.
Looking for that right hook, but just avoiding the shot, Hedges, and firing back with a left hand of his own.
Hedges got to start changing that jab up now. Flick it from the waist, then punch it through the chest, from the chest. Little screw shot with it as well. Just keep changing the variety of that right hand.
There's still plenty of time left in this fight for it to really heat up. And it's feeling as if, but do you know what, I say the same for Quales. It feels as if they're both fighting within themselves. There's more to give from both. But calculated that they're not taking any risks, and I can understand why it's a big opportunity this for them.
And you've got two thinkers in there as well,
yeah,
so
exactly.
they're not going to just, you know, forget about what makes them who they are and just go for it. At some point they probably will, but at the minute they don't need to. Good shot there from with the body just before that clash of heads there from Hedges.
I think he may have caught him on the nose there. Quales. The nose of Quales. Look at that left hand again. They're struggling to get inside that lead hand of Hedges.
Just reaching with that left hand, Hedges. If he just turns the hips and the shoulders, he punches through the tiger with it rather than just sort of reach with the arm shot.
Drops that one. The left of the body, Sky, doesn't he? Really arcs it around the elbow. We can fire it through the middle.
One of my favourite southpaw shots, that.
And again, just does it on the back foot. Took it well, Quales.
That was, you remember the backhand, you about 30 seconds in, you landed with the backhand and that, and you just eased off. I know it's a natural thing for you to do, we've been working on holding that feet a little bit better, haven't we, mate? But it's there for you. The second attack, just stay there. I'm only talking like a little, and if there's a second attack,
Accidental clutch of edge is on your marker.
Okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know, 9 times out of 10, when he comes in, you throw your backhand, put the hook behind it. Yeah. Backhand's landing, the hook's there to come round, isn't it? And we're at the halfway mark now.
We've got to take him out of his comfort zone, lads. It starts from this round, yeah. He's got to have a nightmare if you do it from this round on, yeah. Good lads.
10 seconds. Seconds out to round 5.
Fifth round we go. Hedges versus Quales. English cruiserweight title on the line. Nice jab to the body to start this round from Hedges. You called for that, didn't you? A bit more variation with the jab.
Can't remember me, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. Looking to change up. Yep, the direction of that lead hand, fire it through the middle.
Just after a while, whatever you're doing, a fighter will read your rhythm, and you've got to be careful of that, because then you think what's working for you, and all of a sudden then you get caught with a big shot. His feet are his biggest problem here, Quales. His feet got to be a lot quicker, a little bit closer together, I would say as well. Just quicken that foot, front foot, back foot as you slide forward, and just accelerate. And bending your knees will help you do that. Engage your bigger muscles in your body and push forward.
Some swelling under the right eye for Quales. There was a clash head, wasn't there, in the last round? That must be the damage there. Nice jab again from Hedges. That left hook.
There's nothing on that jab, it just makes you reset, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing in the jab, but it just makes Quales think a little bit more before he comes in and commits to it. I'd like to actually see Hedges pop out that little jab a little bit more, even if it isn't doing anything, just to look a little bit busier.
With the left again, Hedges. I'm sure they're really in the Quales corner, trying to get their man going.
He's not far off with that left hand there. Hedges turning into the shot a little bit better, just didn't quite hit the accuracy.
That's a nice two-shot combination. Started with a lead right to the body, then the left hand through. Guarding Quales for Hedges. That's a nice straight right to the body. That's a shot we've been calling for. Go back upstairs then, Sky, can't he, once he's thrown that straight right?
It's there every time, especially when he finally gets that foot round the outside of Hedges' front foot. It's his best opportunity to land that lead hand nicely. Be in the right spot, get a nice angle.
3 or 4 shots there from Hedges, just taking a step back, Quales, avoiding those shots.
Just a little bit too comfortable this for Hedges. I mean, Quales is someone threatening to do some really good work, and the odd shots landing is good, but just not enough consistency in his work. And just allowing Hedges time to set him up a little bit here still.
Oh, we're looking for the right hand there. Quales just missing with the follow-up. There was a couple of decent shots inside from Hedges. Again, at the end of that round, just starting to heat up slightly.
Best round that, mate. And I tell you what, at one point you did there, you did that second attack for me. It's that second phase attack, work to
There
treat.
is
More of it.
East London, Stratford. And here is the card that starts 7 p.m. We start with Jimmy Sains for the Southern Area middleweight title against Gideon Onyanani, Kieran Conway, Jerome Warburton, the bread maker, has got to be one of my favourite nicknames, that. George Liddard versus Aaron Sutton, and then it's the rematch, Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen for the WBA Intercontinental Heavyweight title. It's going to be fireworks. Beautiful day here in the capital.
So I want more shots.
Halfway through our final fight
Bit more this round.
on Before the Bell, before we head over to DAZN at 7 p.m. So yeah, as I say, 6th round, second half of this contest between John Hedges and Nathan Quales. Essex versus Liverpool. Again, I'm just watching those front foots, as you mentioned, Barry, and you just can't see them on shot here, but they're both battling from the outside.
That's what I mean, Dad. I think Quales naturally takes that left foot on the outside, which is a real plus for him. He does it naturally, but again, he doesn't take either a big enough step or just doesn't. I mean, it's just the injection of pace in his work. I think it's lacking, and it's costing him the rounds here. And again, I know Sky was sort of alluding to it, and I agree that when Hedges is dominating, he doesn't have to. You'd like to see him do more, maybe, to make it more exciting, but he doesn't have to. He's winning the fight. I mean, and quite comfortable, you would feel as well. I think there've been little moments where Corliss has made him feel a tad uncomfortable, but nothing that would panic him. So at the minute, as long as he's winning on points and picking them apart, he's going to continue to do what he has to do.
And I think certainly, you know, us three here will appreciate what John Hedges is doing, you know, being free boxers, if you like, ourselves. You know, you understand the thought that's going into the work. You know, he's trying to unlock, find openings in Quales. But there'll be many out there that say, oh, I wish he was throwing more, I wish he was letting the combinations go. But when you're winning the rounds like you are, why take the risks?
And also, me and Sky can understand this more than anybody. We double down what we do. Whether it's boring or exciting, well, you make it exciting, we'll do what we have to do, and if we keep winning, we keep winning.
Well, I mean, look, you can't all have a 61% knockout ratio like me, you know?
Yeah,
but
we were fighting, we both fought quality from an early stage in our career. You fought nobody for 15 fights, mate. I'm only joking. 16 fights.
Mine's definitely only because it's 2-minute rounds, though.
Yeah, fair point.
And mine for this 3 minutes, it should be 4.
Yeah.
Battling for the centre of ring here, Quales and Hedges. Just taking that circle round to their left. Again, that battle for the front foot remains. Quales looking for that right hand to the body.
There's a good fighter in Quales, there is. I think he's got a lot of good qualities. He just, again, it's that tempo, the pace of his work.
I agree with that, 100%. You just feel there's more to come. You know, he's got the shots, he just doesn't take the risk, does he, Sky?
Just hesitating too much. And I think he's going to really kick himself afterwards if he leaves it too late or doesn't do it at all.
But there's also more gears from Hedges, and I think that so if he does do it, we'll see the better Hedges as well, and makes it a better fight to watch, of course.
Right on the bell there from Quales to finish that 6th round. 4 more to go for this English title.
A little bit now. You know, he was taking a few early doors, but you know, he's not getting
Ricky in the corner there will be happy with their man John Hedges winning this comfortably. There's that shot right on the bell.
To be fair, I think he was throwing it anyway. It was too late.
He took it well though.
I owe you one. I think that little look was there. He's boxing well, he's controlled, he's dominating most of the exchanges, not all of them. And, you know, and again, that jab of his is just, whether there's a lot on it or not, and quite often not, it's just making Quales reset all the time. And I think so he's doing his job, and he's doing his job there, Hedges.
Seconds out, round 7.
Does have 3 stoppages on his record, Hedges. Out of his 10 victories, and Quales just getting told. Listening for the bell. We do get I think it's a 15-second clapper now, not a 10-second clapper. So, yeah, every time I look up, it's 15 seconds.
When did that change?
He's making it up.
Oh, my eyes are getting bad as I'm getting older. But I'm pretty sure it's 15. Let's have a look.
Darren's just making new boxing rules as he goes.
Keep an eye on it. Have a look at this when we get to the end of this round. But good head movement from Quales. As a fellow Scouser, Tony Bellew just sticks his finger in my ear.
Tony's got Quales 6-0 up. Didn't tell you.
Holding the centre ring, Quales just missing that left hand coming from Hedges.
He's at a point now here, Quales, that he has to really make a shift. He has to make a shift in the tempo, in the way the fight's being played out here, and put more panic on Hedges.
Yeah, look, and going back to Hedges, I'm guessing if we was to say, look, you should be throwing more punches, you should be doing this, and he does that and he gets caught and he gets stopped, why would he do that? But you look at the record of Quales, from the 13 wins that he's had, he hasn't stopped anybody. So you think to yourself, if there was anyone to take a little bit of a gamble with, it would be Quales.
Yeah, but you say that, but I couldn't punch him. The best boxer I faced, I put him down in the first round. Do you know what I mean? Anyone can get hurt. Anyone can hurt you, and proof of that. You know what I mean? So what? Like, you know, you've got to box to your strengths. And
I will say with you though, Barry,
no,
you fought upper weight.
Listen, discipline. Well, it is what it is, but discipline is key. I think, you know, and if your style is to negate their work and be effective that way, that's what your style is. I mean, you've got a woman sat next to you who's doubled down on what she does. This is what I do, and I do it well. So you make the fight, and you win off that. Very, very strong about you. Box as good as you can box, and your style is your style.
And he is boxing very well, John Hedges, on the back foot, landing some nice body shots. There was a couple of shots landed by Quales a few seconds ago. Tucking up well, better head movement, landing a left hook there. Quales just trying to measure him with that lead hand, Hedges, so he can fire through with that left.
Quales getting a bit closer here, isn't he?
Yeah, he is starting to respond to the corners, tries. Trying to make it more uncomfortable for Hedges in there at the minute. Better on the front foot from Quales, Sky.
Yeah, much better. This is what his corner's probably been asking him to do for the last few rounds. I was listening out for the 10-second clapper there, but I don't think it went.
12-second clapper.
15.
13 and a half.
How's your gas feel? Good, yeah. Getting better this, you know what I mean? There's nothing really more for me to, you know, say. A little bit more on the upper body movement, because when you're upper body movement and you're fighting him, you know what I mean? We've got a more chance of him coming in. And every time you do come in, you're nailing him, to be honest with you. All it is, you know, the last few rounds now, just more and more and more of it.
Yeah, I want it.
Yeah. But doing some good stuff, you know what I mean? Holding your feet a little bit better. I don't think when he has a burst, he needs a rest. Did you feel that? Yeah. You know, he's only got a few bursts, but when he does, he feels it. I think he needs a rest.
Bonus 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 8.
3 more to go here on our final fight on Before the Bell. John Hedges, Nathan Quales, English Cruiserweight title. We just see little glimpses of Quales just starting to creep forward and try and put pressure on Hedges, Barry.
Yeah, again though, but I feel like I'm digging him out all the time, and I don't mean to be, but I just quicken the feet. Though when you do get there, you know, you're walking him down, you're doing the work to get him where you want to. It's an acceleration of pace when you work. I say that all the time. You don't have to have power to do that. You can let your hands go, just to, you know, even if it's like a rat-a-tat, just go bang, 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 and throw in 3s and 4s.
What would you like to see Quales and John Hedges do, Sky?
I'd like to see Quales just let his hands go, just bite down. He knows he's not won the round, so he's got 2.5 rounds here to make something happen, to change what he's doing, bite down on the gum shield and have a go, and go out on his shield at least. I feel like he's going to be left with a lot of regret come to the end of the fight if he doesn't try. It just looks like he's got something, and he's just not. He's just hesitating too much. He's just not committing.
Well, they say that, don't they? You know, a massive percentage of this game is the mental side of it. But John Hedges is doing exactly what he needs to do, like we've been saying this whole time. He's still boxing really, really well. He's controlling the distance. He's keeping his man exactly where he wants him, and he's doing what he needs to do to win the rounds. Yeah, it does look comfortable, though. It is better pressure from Quales. Does look comfortable on the back foot, John Hedges.
And by the way, we're asking Quales to do stuff that he doesn't naturally want to do as well. He likes to be the boxer, and he is up against a 6'6" southpaw. So all these things factor into being a stylistic nightmare for him. But you go into a fight knowing something, you're going to have to do something different as well. Let's not forget that. I'm not a massive lover of game plans per se. I think things have to be quite organic for you in the ring, let people think on your feet. But still, you know what you're up against. It's good to be from Hedges there, a short left hand. He's been very disciplined and confident in what he's doing.
That was a lovely shot. That was straight down the middle of the guard, and you see the blood come out of the nose instantly from Quales. Credit to him. He is trying, he's creeping forward, he's moving the head, but just struggling to land anything of note at the minute. And On the flip side, Hedges just pouring out that lead hand. He's trying to draw out the lead of Qualis.
Just seen Hedges roll his shoulders. Now, what's looking for different angles of attack, but what it does as well, it stops Qualis from doing anything because he's expecting something to come back. So those little movements just really disrupt your rhythm as well.
Nice right hand from Qualis, but back comes Hedges with a beautiful jab straight down the middle. Dropping the hands now, Qualis. 2 to go.
That's feel right, yeah. It's some good stuff, mate, to be honest. I think that, you know, he's got to come out fast, you know, for this next round. So we expect it, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know whether he has, but just in case, we're going to be ready, aren't we? You know what I mean? Finish big in these last 2 rounds for me, yeah? Yeah. You know what? We're having the most success when you're keeping it simple. You know what I mean? Just the 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Touch, 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 backhand, touch.
Still looks fresh, doesn't he, Hedges?
Simplest is having the most success.
All it is there. Listening to the advice of the great Ricky Hatton. There was a maturity, I've said this from Hedges, but I noticed that the presser, you know, speaking a very good game. He was very calculated in what he was saying, where he wants to go in the sport and what he has to do. I think the sacrifices made Sky, as you full well know, shows the ambition from the young man.
Yeah, it's always hard, especially with injury and things, like slowing down your progression, slowing down your career. So it's good to see him back.
Well, we all make sacrifices. I used to have to travel about half a mile to my gym every day of my life. It's just the same as traveling the other side of the world, like Sky, isn't it, really?
Special man, Barry. Special fighter.
I know.
Can he do it, Qualis? Can he find something spectacular to turn this fight on its head?
He hasn't made Hedges. No, Hedges is full of energy, isn't he? You can see that. So, I mean, you can lose the rounds but make a guy feel the pace, and then maybe, you know, shorten it up in the last few rounds where, you know, even though you're losing, you're making the guy work so hard to win those rounds, but it hasn't been the case.
He's holding the head of that lead hand, Hedges. You can see what's coming. Throws a lead right uppercut, right uppercut there, but he's looking for the left hand. I feel like he wants to loop it right round. He's looking for that right hand of Qualis to drop, so he can fire that hook around the corner, but just in cruise control now. Second gear is Hedges.
There's been little attempts from Qualis, but he doesn't follow it up enough to make any kind of momentum or set any kind of pace where he's got to make Hedges work a lot harder. He's just not backing himself enough.
And Sky, Hedges just does what he's doing now, doesn't he? He doesn't take any risks.
There's absolutely no need. He's got 4 minutes left of boxing. He's won pretty much every round, if not every round. And he's got a man who's hesitating in front of him.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, lovely shot there from Hedges. Again, just pretty much what you were saying there, Sky, just let him come on to him. Just wait and pick your target.
Nice right to the body there. Defended it well though, Hedges, but that's the shot. You just felt Qualis should have thrown more often. Start low, finish high.
It's a good display here from Hedges, though. You know, it's been a real, I'd say, mature, controlled display.
Do you think if Hedges did let his hands go, you'd see him get the stoppage?
No, I don't. I think Qualis is pretty tough, but it makes it a better fight, and I think it makes him maybe a better fighter. But this, as Darren was saying, might be a fight where he can afford to take a few more risks, but a good display, professional display, and what we might find out, a champion's display.
Some recognisable faces there. First off, Jimmy Sains fighting Gideon Onyanani for the southern area middleweight title. Conor Benn, John Ryder in the house, Tony Sims. Smiles all round. 9 fights, 9 wins. 9, all inside the distance for Jimmy Sains, a popular man from Essex. And all buzzing from that fight a few weeks ago. Conor Benn, Eubank Jr. It was epic. Well, 10th and final round here.
10th and final round.
At the Copper Box, last fight on before the bell. This, as we've mentioned a few times, for the English Cruiserweight title. The second 10-rounder for both of these two. Looks for that shot that you like so much, that left to the body. John Hedges there. Sky looks for the right, the lead right to the body as well.
Yeah, this is lovely work, closing out the fight well. It'll be nice to see Hedges just try and put a few combinations, do a few things a little bit different now. He's boxed well, he's done everything he's needed to do throughout the fight. It might be nice to see him just put a few little punches together and look impressive.
Setting his ways now, winning comfortably. Don't think we'll see it though, Barry.
Again, I can go back to what I said in the last round. I thought the last round was the last round, I've got to be honest. That's what I say, it's real mature display so far. But I think, again, do you want to risk all that and it to unravel? But again, the fight's in the bag. He's up against a guy who's not known as a puncher, who's shown feet not to be the fastest, so he maybe can, as Sky was saying, that his punches go a little bit more. But I think he's been good tonight, really good. I think you allow Quarles into the fight. I think you're going to have a difficult night here, and I think he's kept him really quiet.
Well, look, he's going to win the English title against a 13-1 opponent very easily.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's boxed well, and he's even though he's being the counter puncher predominantly, mainly, he's kept it at his pace. And I think that's dictating the pace. You haven't got to be the aggressor to dictate the pace. You can do it from, on the move. I don't say off the back foot because theoretically everything's off the back foot because you punch every punch you throw is off the back foot. I think you push off that back foot, but on the move, and you can dictate the pace that way. But it takes more of a skill, I would say, to do that, and he's shown that in abundance.
It will be interesting, what you're kind of alluding to, Sky. Can Hedges go through the gears? But when he fights someone that really does stick it on him and lets volumes go, how will Hedges adapt? Look, that's something we'll see in the future.
Yeah, I just think against this style of opponent, he's rounds ahead, and he's got a man who's slowed down quite a lot in front of him now. He's got 30 seconds left to close out the show. Have fun with it.
Oh, good shot there from Quarles. It's funny, see, staying disciplined and coasting are two different things. Coasting in a fight like this is dangerous, that the guy doesn't come onto you, but also staying disciplined in your approach, because me and Sky are different fighters, we're similar in this way. If we were winning this fight like this 9.5-0, if you could say that, we wouldn't take a risk. That's the truth.
No, I agree 100%.
Knockout artist here.
61% over here. Oh, another shot just on the final bell there. Nod of the head from John Hedges. Quarles goes back to the red corner. I have to say, I feel he'll kick himself if he watches that fight back. That he just hasn't got going. Vidal Riley didn't let his hands go nearly enough. And look, I don't want to take anything away from Riley. He's a very good fighter. But against Hedges here this evening, didn't get going. But you have to say, John Hedges boxed really, really well. Was switched on, was smart, and didn't take any risks, Barry.
Yeah, no, I thought he boxed really well. He controlled everything with that jab. The movement was good, the variety in some of his work was fantastic. And he won a fight that could have been difficult. For Quarles, I think, again, it's just the feet let him down. There's a good fighter there, a better fighter than what he is, and they know that, I think. And I just think if he could just get injection of pace in his work, he would be 10 times better.
Yep, an awful lot to work on for both. Let's be honest, you're constantly improving all the time as fighters. But this man here, John Hedges, who we just seen shot there, boxed really, really well. He's going to win this English title, and just seeing Nathan Quarles walk past us, and he doesn't look happy, to say the least, Sky.
No, you can definitely see in the body language. He looks frustrated. he's definitely going to have regrets. It did look like he was hesitating a lot. There was more to give, and he just wasn't able to do it tonight, unfortunately for him. But we'll see what the scorecards say. Yep,
another 10-round fight in the bank for both. Experience gained, you have to say. Rounds are valuable at this stage in your career. Ricky Hatton, buzz every time I see him, I really do. Seeing him at the presser on Thursday, just such a character, but what a fighter he was. Anyway, let's hand it back over to David for the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action here at the Copper Box, we go to the judges' score totals. Michael Alexander, 99-92. Marcus McDonald, 98-92. Kieran McCann, 97-93. All three for your winner by unanimous decision. He's still undefeated and the new English Cruiserweight Champion, the gentleman, John J. Hedges.
Well, John Hedges wins the English Cruiserweight title at a canter. Comfortable 10-round victory over Liverpudlian Nathan Quales. That's an important win, an important belt to win for John Hedges. 11-0 now. All smiles from the team there. As I say, there's more to come from this young man. He's won that comfortably. We will be heading over to DAZN very soon, where the fights just keep on coming.
We know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 185 fights on DAZN every year.
We've gone big, we've gone global.
Chanting through combinations, comebacks, and non-stop knockouts. With big fights every week, you're the best in the world. So go on, get that belt, champ. DAZN, undisputed.
Plenty of fight nights coming your way on DAZN, including this one in just a few minutes' time. Jimmy Sains, Gideon Onyanani, Kieran Conway against the bread maker, Jerome Warburton, George Liddard, Aaron Sutton. That's a good fight. And Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen, that rematch that we've been waiting for since that first fight. And what a fight it was. I can see Eddie, John Hedges, and our reporter, Jamie Ward, in the ring. So let's get a few words from the victor.
Okay, John Hedges, congratulations, new English Cruiserweight champion. It's on your shoulder, it suits you. How does this feel and what does this mean tonight?
Yeah, Jamie, it feels brilliant, mate. Like, it's been a hard few months last month, so don't want to go in details, but we've come here, we've done the job, we sold a good ticket, everyone come out and supported me, and this is the start, mate. I said 4 years ago when I made my debut, I'm going to take my time, but when I hit the belts, I want to stay on title run. I won the Southern area last time out, English this time out, and if Eddie wants it, we'll go for the British next, mate.
To bank 10 rounds, obviously after the 10-month layoff as well, for the first time, how did the body feel in here tonight?
Listen, it didn't feel brilliant. Of course it didn't. I ain't going to sit here and I'm going to watch that performance back and I'm going to say it was a load of rubbish, if I'm honest with you. I'm my own worst critic. But listen, it's one of them things. I've been with Ricky 6 weeks, no excuses. We've just dug deep and we've done what we had to do. But there's so much more to come, mate. I'm 23. I'm a young cruiserweight and I'll give it me all. Do you know what I mean? I want to give this boxing's my life. Do you know what I mean? So with the crew behind me, let's go. Come on. And we're going to put some big nights here.
Fairly wide on the cards in the end. What do you believe won you the fight, John? You look pretty comfortable tonight.
That's probably my biggest problem, Jane. I get too comfortable. I'll do it a bit in sparring, if I'm honest. But listen, with a man like Ricky in my corner, that's only going to improve. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's my fault's always been I get too comfy, and that's exactly what I did tonight. But a win's a win, mate, and we move on.
Absolutely. Well, in terms of win a win and moving on, let's bring in the man who's in charge of the next steps. Look, when you win the southern area, then you look to the English. Great time to be a domestic cruiserweight, Eddie Hearn. What's next for John?
Yeah, just activity, really. You know, he's been starved of that because of injury. And obviously teaming up with Ricky Hatton, first fight. Great performance, nice and solid. It's going to start getting tougher now. I think he wants that as well. We're going to start moving towards British Championships. The fights are going to get much harder than that in there tonight. So just get the confidence, start going through the gears in the fights. You know, you've got Vidal Riley, British champion. I think a fight with Chev Clark later in the year could be a big fight on the way to that. Two great fighters. So it starts getting tough now. You've got that belt, you're going for the British title, Commonwealth, European. Now, 23 years of age, ready to kick on.
And in terms of the support, great support from Take Me and across Essex, John, just finally, those names Eddie mentioned, how do they sound?
Listen, I started boxing to be in big fights. I don't care who I fight. I made that clear to Eddie. I worked my way up. I've done exactly what he told me to do. Win the southern area, win the English, done as I'm told. And listen, there's a lot more to improve, but if he wants to put me in the deep end, I'll swim now, do you know what I mean?
Onwards and upwards. John Hedges, congratulations, and the new, well done.
Well done, mate. The new English cruiserweight champion, John Hedges, moves to 11-0. But thank you very much for joining us here on Before the Bell. 5 minutes time, 7 p.m. live on DAZN, your global home of boxing. We have this for you: Fisher versus Allen. From myself, Barry, and Sky. Thanks for watching.
I can't actually believe what I'm seeing.
Repeat.
Drama here.
Revenge.
Dave Allen is upsetting the odds.
The rematch.
This is everything gone out the window. This is who wants it more.
Chaos. Carnage.
Huge punches going in.
Controversy.
The fight's going in the favour of Dave Allen at the minute.
The Romford Bull. The White Rhino.
Two British heavyweights going for it here.
An unstoppable force.
Oh, Bosh!
An immovable object. But this isn't physics. This is fighting.
Throwing caution to the wind, the pair of them.
And something has to give.